That dangerous search continues for a 6th day for fugitive Floyd Cook.
Around 50 law enforcement officers from all different agencies are on the hunt for the 62-year-old convicted rapist who has eluded officers in 2 states. Now they think they're closing in on him.
Yeah, Rebecca Schleicher and Todd Walker join us live from different areas of Burkesville, Kentucky. First, let's get the latest update on this very fluid situation from Rebecca. What can you tell us?
Well, Rory, Carey, the 6-day manhunt for a fugitive may all come down to tonight. In the last 5 minutes, we got an update that there might be an area of interest where troopers may think that Cook is. Now, this is after hours of no updates after a dog caught his scent off Salina Road earlier today. So this is a very active and very dangerous area still. They're saying everybody around here needs to lock their doors and stay inside. They hope that they have Cook somewhere cornered in the woods. Now, this is something that has been going on for 6 days now, and this is the 4th time Floyd Cook has managed to elude law in the better part of the last week. Troopers say he approached a couple at their home around 2:30 this afternoon and asked them for a ride. They recognized him, said no, and called 911. A sheriff's deputy said he spotted Cook and watched him take off on foot into the woods. Now, these dense woods near Dale Hollow Lake have made multiple searches for Cook extremely difficult. And once the sun went down, troopers say that made it much worse.
It makes it hard to see, and I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we need to do. So we're going to really rely on the canines, and hopefully they're still tracking to be able to give us a good lead on to where he may be. Obviously, I mean, it can benefit him much more than it will us, because he can lay down, hunker down, and maybe be walked right over.
And that may be exactly what's happened tonight. They did have heat sensors in one of the choppers searching for him in the air, but the choppers are running out of fuel. And we were told earlier that in just a few minutes they may be calling the search. And then we heard that there may be an area of interest. So this is still very developing out here. I am with the public information officer. He's close by, keeping us informed of any new developments. So I will let you know as soon as I do. And of course, I spoke with the school superintendent. I know a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen for school tomorrow, because the first 3 days of this week were canceled because of possible danger in the area. Today, they thought it might be safe again to send the kids back, but the superintendent tells me he's sticking to the protocol he's been doing all week, waiting till 5 o'clock in the morning before deciding whether or not to call school for today. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll have new info for you in just the next few minutes about how this search is winding up. Reporting live in Burkesville, Rebecca Schleicher, News Channel 5.
All right, Rebecca, we'll be on standby. Thank you. And we continue our team coverage tonight with our Todd Walker, also in Burkesville, near that search scene.
Yeah, Todd, I know you spoke exclusively with the man who tipped off this entire search.
Yeah, guys, that's right. But first, I want to get to more of that breaking news that Rebecca was talking about. So we just had a bunch of law enforcement blast by us here along Salina Road, which is the roadblock is right there by us. And some law enforcement who has been at that roadblock told me that they believe that Floyd Cook is cornered somewhere in a barn very near us. And so they were letting us know in case we need to take cover. They said they'd also let us know as soon as they catch him. So this is happening very near us. We're about 10 miles away from Rebecca Schleicher at our location here at the roadblock. But you mentioned that we did speak exclusively to the man who tipped this whole thing off. Jim Scott says Floyd Cook walked down his driveway, which is just past the roadblock here. Cook apparently asked him for a ride, and all of this was caught on camera.
Another massive manhunt in Burkesville, Kentucky Thursday night. Roads blocked off, eyes in the sky and on the ground, all looking for Floyd Cook. No one can find him.
He was walking up this way, and then when I hollered at him, he turned and walked back.
But Cook apparently found Jim Scott.
I hollered and asked him what he was wanting. Well, he stepped out right here on the sidewalk, and he said, "I need a ride." And I told him, I said, "You're not going to get a ride around here."
It was all caught on Scott's home security system that he had just installed a few months ago. Scott says he knew that face.
If I'd have known who it was for sure, it'd been different.
He says Cook did not appear to be armed, but Scott had his gun ready.
But I was 90% sure it was the fellow they've been looking for. You can't shoot somebody unless they've got a gun, no matter what the circumstance. You know.
Scott says Cook turned and went back down the road. He trailed him in his truck when a sheriff's deputy saw Cook too. Cook saw the deputy and took off again.
I wasn't 100% until he run.
So the search continues. This time they know he's here somewhere.
It amazes me that, you know, that he stayed on the run a long time, especially to be back in this area.
All right, back out here live along Salina Road, right at the roadblock where we get into the search scene. As we mentioned just a few minutes ago, law enforcement telling me moments before we went on the air that they believe that they have Floyd Cook cornered in a barn not far from us at our location right here. I can also hear that the helicopter has relaunched. So they are apparently ramping this search back up again. Now, Jim Scott tells me that he hopes that law enforcement, if they don't catch him here, that they might be able to enhance the video that he has so that they can get some more information from that. We're certainly going to keep you updated as this search goes on. Law enforcement tells me that they will let me know as soon as they hear anything or if we need to get out of this area because it's not safe. Apparently, this search is going on very near us. We are live in Burkesville tonight. I'm Todd Walker, News Channel 5.
Todd, thanks. This manhunt has left neighborhoods in 2 states now really in terror. It's the second time that Cumberland County has been the scene of the desperate search for Floyd Cook. Police thought they had him surrounded at this home earlier this week, but he wasn't there when police moved in. One local resident says she's not taking any precautions.
Well, it's sort of disturbing, especially after it gets dark and you can't see. And all we can do is load our guns and keep them handy.
This all comes about 24 hours after a Robertson County neighborhood experienced that same fear. Last night, a U.S. Marshal spotted a black Chevy Impala, a car cops thought Cook could be driving. The people inside sped off, crashed into a ravine, and then took off on foot. Eventually, officials found Katie McCarty hiding in a muddy field. An hour later, Troy Wayne was arrested on Stovall Drive. Both were believed to be traveling with Cook.